Oh, it does work. Yes. Okay, sweet. Okay, I'm on the phone with my angel in training. One of my angels in training. I'll put this microphone for emphasis. I have my angel in training on the phone. About to call back actually because I just hung up on accident. But we were on the phone talking about his case. Okay. So we're going over his case right now where he's locked in. Either way. So it's cool because I'm getting refreshed on terms and things like that. And this is also wild to watch myself. I don't know how I feel about it. All right, just focus on the mushroom. But I'm brushing up on my terms and things like that so we can get refreshed and be aware of what's going on and how everything's fake. Besides me. Besides me. Without further ado, I think I summed it up. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me give you this info before you could call any second now. But this is case 2422 R 02941-01. Okay, in Missouri courts. Good old St. Louis. Trying to hold us into a plantation. Goodness gracious. Basically, the same case number without the dash 01 or 01 is how this whole thing came about. It started with that. Oh, did you see what I'm doing with my hand? Is this an as above, so below? I think I just made 2 triumphs. Oh, wait a second. What? Yo. It is. I had to place these. Okay, that's it right there. You can kind of see it. That's 2 triangles. Stop playing. Okay, that being said, let's not F around and find out. Because you'd rather just find out. Don't F around. Just find out, okay? Without the 01, this case started. They recreated a whole other case with the 01 because they changed the charges. The charge that was originally there, they had for like filing or using false documentation, something along those lines. I'll have to look at it. But basically, it's one charge. Then he went to court, and then they sent it, and then now it got a whole different case number. And they're trying to create a whole different charge than the original. And they're trying to get away with it, basically. Is how we're breaking it down. So there's a whole charge. Take it up to a certain place, and they just want to send it off to a whole different area and judge and court and division, whatever. Now they're like, okay, this is the charge. And basically he's like, what are you talking about? What charge? Because they also don't have any proof, any discovery, no evidence. There's literally nothing. That's it. They have nothing. And when they tried to change the charge, when he went to court, he's like, yo, you all just changed the whole charge completely. And he happened to have a copy of the original thing that they tried to erase or put to the side like they didn't do it. And the lady to the side, I was at the court. Okay, I was a witness. I was off to the side and I watched this lady freak out because he was like, I have this and this is the original charge. She's like, let me see that. And took it. So they've taken him to court a couple times and they've continued it because they have no evidence. They have nothing. They've brought nothing, and the public defender and all them, nobody has come to see him at all. No one's talked to him at all. Nothing. And he's had court scheduled, and these people go, but don't bring him, and they're putting in all kinds of stuff for him. Then he actually fired him, sending in mail. And they still kept him on the case, and he's still just showing up to these courts without him and put in stuff. But he's on the phone now. I started recording. I thought you were gonna call faster, but I started recording and I was like, okay, well, let me just fill this void with me bringing in the case and talking about it, kind of opening up about it, because I was basically sitting outside talking to him, and we always talk. He's been in there for a hot second every time they mess with him. But this time, today, and it happens to be 4th of July because I happen to be the most free in real terms myself. Me, myself, and I are the most free in indigenous terms. And they're trying to do anti-freedom. That's why I got to do what I got to do. Okay. We doing it as a team, though. We got this. Um, I was sitting outside and I just got like, you know what? I'm going to record this conversation this time because that's it. I'm tired of these people getting away with stuff and doing stuff and trying to get like nothing's being recorded. We can't record stuff in court. So I'm like, you know what? That's it. Our voices need to be heard. And I want your voice to be heard while you're in there because they definitely want you silenced. So I just want to continue our conversation, but I'm just going to record it for, purposes. And I think that's why I accidentally hit the end button because I was like, oh, what are the odds? I like rarely ever do that. I actually hit the button instead of like hitting like down. I was like, right when I did it, I was like, that's the energy that people, that's what we're dealing with. So I know I'm doing something right. So yeah. Where were we?
Okay, we were on the November 20th, 2024.
Yep. Okay.
And,
right back at it.
Because I was explaining to you that that's why it said no, or in the term to release scrub grand jury data to basically asking them to prove that you had a real grand jury indictment. Like, how do you get a grand jury indictment when you, the associate judge, couldn't set a trial yourself with the Sixth Amendment, power and duty that grants you the power and duty to inform me the nature of the charges brought against myself in order for me to line up a proper defense. So she couldn't set a trial. So versus dismissing it, she told her no, the prosecutors to give her a grand jury indictment to keep the case going forward. So I was calling them out on that, like, yeah, how you get a grand jury indictment when you ain't seen enough information to set a trial?
Right.
And then they couldn't give me that. That's why I say, alternative dismiss, no squash the indictment. And then I asked for the discovery and the compelled evidence. And then I also told them no continuances to let them know that I'm ready for trial. Because you see that speedy trial motion put on the same day with the bill of particulars or alternative dismiss the case. So I keep calling them out like, hey, give me the bill of particulars so I can know exactly what charge I'm facing to line up my proper defense for trial when I want the speedy trial. Or, you dismiss the case thing if they ain't got it. And I don't want no continuances because they keep continuing the cases. And then you see the exhibits A through L, which I provide the exhibits that go with my defense. And part of them exhibits is the mental health evaluation that they ordered me to take last time, with the Missouri statute 552.020 saying that we want you to chess with them to let them know, look, I know what you're trying to do already. So let's go take this off the board this time. Don't be trying to order me no mental evaluation because I already passed it.
Right. Okay. So yeah, before they even tried to go that route, you were like, "Look, I know where you're going with this, and let me stop you right there."
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
That's the part of the reason why they don't want to bring me to court. Like, damn, he know our court procedure. He know our playbook. He ain't a dummy. He ain't a straw man. That's the part of the other exhibit is me sitting in the register fictitious person to let them know that Northern Cal Cody second is the fictitious person registered in the fictitious name registered in the state of Missouri. I do business on. I'm telling them that I'm the flesh and blood man, a lot of my lamb, the trustee and responsible party of the Northern Cal Cody second and foreign trust. So I was talking banking terminology to them, and they really like, shut the hell up, don't let these people know what we're doing, because we charging the trust funds for capital crimes and making y'all pay guilty as Latin to pay for these charges. And I'm saying I'm innocent, one without sin, and I'm not a Christian member or a Catholic member, so I shouldn't be in this Catholic court facing charges. And I don't need an attorney who has the bar, then it has to get to registry, because I'm not an Englishman. I'm a Native American Israelite, and I'm letting them know my bloodline. Like, I'm Fox, Mohican, Creek, Wichita, Israelite, Benjamin Knight, Levite. So I've got the law with me. Like, that's the people who are Leviticus. So I'm looking like, it's deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all laws is basically your Louisiana territories, Missouri by statute, come from the basically Latin Vulgate, which is a translation from the book of Torah, the book of the dead from Moses, which basically stems to the Most High, law of the universe.
I'm gonna light your candle in the name of that.
Okay, so it's a conscious defense I'm putting up because the First Amendment is freedom to exercise. So I'm like, you violated my First Amendment. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Catholic, and I'm not British. You don't got no jurisdiction over me. Regardless of what I've been accused of, I'm underneath the law, the universal laws, and the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, because everybody got the right to have a nationality, and you let them know with your political status to say how you want to be judged in society. So I'm like, I'm not a member of your society. I don't have to conform to your rules. And I have a uniform commercial code contract, the ABJ number, board code 2019-0424-0058, recorded April 24, 2019. The county recorded deeds, book number 23497, pages 018100219. All that's in the exhibits. It's no A to L.
Oh, that's what that is?
All that is already on file, so they can't say that they're not aware of my nationality political status.
I didn't know what the A through L meant.
Yeah, each document, A, B, C, D, E.
Damn, I know what the alphabet is. You gotta do me dirty.
Nah, I'm trying to count how many pages it is.
Oh. Hey, come on now.
There's 12 pages. So I put 12 pages on that. So the fictitious person, the ABJ document, it's the copy of the state ID, it's the quiet title, without judgment, the appendix file, and it's the recorder, the quick claim deed, and it's the assessor office showing the transfer of ownership to my name on that. So it's like it already beats the case. It's like I'm the owner of the property, and I'm not the straw man. I'm the responsible party trustee. So I'm covering every aspect. Them trying to charge me like First Amendment protection, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment. Then you go to the 14th Amendment, right to due process of law. So I'm like, this is all the damn constitutional rights I violate. And I got proof, and I'm saying this is retaliation for filing the federal tort claim, doing a non-judicial foreclosure, because it's unpaid debt that they owe for violating these constitutional rights. nationality, Declaration of Human Rights, and Uniform Commercial Code that I actually, did a bill toward 419 CBO 2671-070, and the other one, 59, that they in the fall judgment has been after still and sent to World Criminal Court, World Peace Court, Supreme Court in the United States, the Federal District Court.
In that order?
Yeah, it's been sent. It went up to total power, went to every court. They just basically like passing a book, dismissing it, disregarding it like it don't exist. But I just need it on record that they've been informed. So I don't really care about the court opinion.
Right. Because basically it's going to be, when it comes to court, it's going to be them talking. It's going to be whatever they say, you're silenced. Then when it comes to them recording it, a.k.a. putting it on the docket entries, and it comes to the clerk, they're going to put what they want. It's going to be their story every time, unless you use your own voice. So you're already letting them know. Again, F the mental health evaluation, because I'm ahead of your schedule. I'm letting you know what you all are doing and what you're on, and I know what you violating, what you're doing. I'm letting you know about yourselves, and because I'm smart and going around this BS that you're trying to create of a story, I'm telling my story in due process, my motherfucking self.
Yeah, and I'm doing it on behalf of myself and the American people.
Yeah.
Because they violating everybody. So imagine if I didn't do this, how would I be in this mud? Like,
you're counteracting their story with the truth, which is the real story. Because this is going down, they're recording it. This is what they always do. This is how we get history. They record it with their story, and it creates, that's why they put it on record, because they're trying to create his story and silence the truth, which most of the time the truth is not their story. So, and that's why they want us silenced. And it's wild because they try to put us against each other. Even if you try to look up somebody, you look up a case, whatever, it's like they create all kinds of narratives for a person. And that's not even the real person. And then it's like, in their way, the way they do it, there's no way for the soul or the spirit to technically get out of that, even if you do change. Because they're like, nope, this is on record. This stays here. It's like, so you trying to put somebody's soul in a permanent sentence. That's what they're trying to do. And they're trying to get away with it. So I said they're trying to play God doing this judge stuff.
Yeah, they play with the narrative. I was like, when I'm talking about the narrative, like, I got a discovery that they supplemented 3 different times, basically changing the narrative, trying to make it their charges stick.
And you know what? With how much they're doing, it's like no other, well, I won't say that, but like, for the most part, I mean, most people here, if they were in this same predicament, they wouldn't be able to do this. They would be done, son. And that's why you the biggest component and opponent when it comes to this type of stuff, because you have the wisdom and the knowing to do this. If you didn't know what you know, and you didn't have conscience, and you weren't at where you're at, man, it's just we got another Gandhi on it. We got another straw person. We got another dumb. We got somebody. It's another one. They don't want us to know truth, have truth, say truth, speak on anything, because they're all about silencing a person and then creating a narrative.
Yeah, I credit you for that, for like helping me change my life, so I can able to see through this, giving me the consciousness, changing what I eat, seeing through the mercury. Like, you just didn't know, like, this dead capital law stuff. I grew up around it, so now it's all clicking. Like, and then when you're going through it, like the last case, I was held with no bond, went to court 17 times. So, like, any prerogative went out the window, you stuck in her, can't get out unless you go to court. So you can't be afraid to go to court. That's your way out, especially you got no bond. So I started just learning these laws on the tablet, because they been talking about in the session that they put it in their book, and start speaking it and writing and putting it on record and watch how they reacting and responding to it. Then I'm like, I can see through it. These people are not accountable.
They're mad that you're sovereign. For real. Like, they're mad that you have a mind of your own. anytime, it's like it keeps happening. Anytime you have a mind of your own, they're like, all right, they have conscious, we don't. Dilly. We're going to war.
The timeline of the Bible entries, because that's like.
Yeah, which one are we on now?
Okay, we just gonna leave November 20th because she continued the case November 7th.
Yes.
When I called her out, because she let me know I was indicted November 7th. That's when I with charge because I got the complaint that says filing false documentation. I used to have indicted for stealing postal delivery item, which is not on my discovery, by the way.
Oh yeah. So the first, can you just say, because we didn't get in the beginning of our conversation, like, can you say the first charge that was put on there? And then now with the second one that they I explained that they changed it to a whole different like case number.
Yeah, I'm gonna recap it all real fast.
Okay.
Just go through it. So,
cool, my Ingo.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning. I don't think they're gonna get back to where we get about this. I'm running straight through it. So
Right.
October 7th, they pick me up on High. I'm a warrant for questioning. I don't answer no question I ask for time. So they send me down to the St. Louis City Justice Center and say, you're gonna basically, they ain't gonna leave them around right none of that stuff, but they lying so they did now we can discovery, but they did. So I'm sitting in holding tank for 24 hours because they got 24 hours to decide they gonna issue charges on you or not. So right at the 25th hour, because St. Louis don't let you go right away, they said they issue charges on me. So that was on October 8th, 2024. So now I go to court October 9th, 2024. And the complaint says, filing false documentation to get a state ID. And I was released on bond GPS conditions. So now the next court date was November the 7th. But I filed a motion October 24th for a particular honor to dismiss the case. So now mysteriously, I'm indicted October 31st. I checked case that seen that. So I printed out that complaint. You have 3 minutes remaining on this call. And I ain't gonna call you back. So I get to November 7th, the court date, that's when she say, you've been indicted, and I called out. And she say, no, I'm still in postal delivery item. I'm like, well, it told me right here that this complaint was filed in false documentation to get a state ID. That's the charge I've been line on my defense for, so which one they did it. And the police was like, give me that, because they ain't expect me to have it. Now she called red-handed, tampering with the records and switching up stuff, so she asked for the continuance. That's why I say continue reason request of the court, continue reason in the court. The judge asked for the continuance, not me, the defendant or the prosecutor, which is, can't do that, but that's what they did anyway. And that's when that dude showed up, was like, she violated, Your Honor. And I'm like, I never seen this dude a day in my life. Who is this dude? And she was gonna let it go for a minute, but then she was like, know what? So he violated, like put something right, and he left the court. But this is the same dude that was in Crazy Boat and Rap, or another dude that liked him to work with the same people that told girl, quick, call the police, you gotta do it. That gave me the new St. Louis County case when my GPS tracked it, mysteriously mistaken for a gun, which wasn't, but that's the story he made of her. And they got my fine revoked. That's why I'm down here now. Let it come back up later. So she continued that case on November 21st. I filed that motion November 20th that we've been talking about, all the motions. And then November 21st, we go to court. And she like, I'm asking for discovery. She don't want to give it to me, so I need to go get an attorney. So she continued the case to December the 5th. We like, dang, we got to keep coming back. So
yeah.
we go get an attorney. So I go see
because we were like, that's what I brought up earlier, because again I didn't record. I was like, I remember
1 minute.
I remember us being like going to course, and then her always, like, it kept continuing, and we're like, based off of what? Like, there's no evidence, there's nobody here, there's no third party, like there's nothing here, and there's nothing to back up what the charges that you also changed are. Like, and you're prepared, you're ready, you're there, court, and it's like, why do I have to keep coming here over and over and over again on some continuous stuff? You wasting my time, my energy on stuff that I didn't ever do. Like you want to act like you got to charge somebody for court. I'm like, you taking up our time, charging us. Like, this is costing us a lot more, energetic wise too.
I'm trying to get the trial right now. She said she can't give me the trial right now. Asking for discovery, she said she can't give me discovery without an attorney lying to me. But basically, won't let me go forward on the law. Let her get an attorney. So
yes, yes, she did say that. She did say that. He couldn't get a discovery unless he got an attorney because he was standing on his own. Like, no, I represent myself. And she is like, I can't give you a discovery. Lying. I can't give you a discovery until you get an attorney. Like, trying to force. This is what they do. They lie and try to force you to put in stuff. It's like, it's wild to think almost everything here and everything that comes out of someone's mouth is a lie. Blasphemy. Oh, also, to go on record, this is the first time I've used the camera on this laptop. I was like, ooh. Like I said, I got the idea. I was like, I want to record this conversation. Let me see if I can get the laptop camera. And it works. Again, it's not always the best quality, but this is probably better than the phone right now that I have. So it's cool. It's actually not that bad. It's a little dusty, but matches the aesthetic. Besides me, I'm the cleanest thing around here. All right. As you can see, I guarantee you, any of these rooms around here do not look like this. The people do not look like this. First, I was afraid.
Malak, baalim. I'm gonna be a while, yo.
Is calling you from St. Louis City Jail. Press 2 for accepting the call. Press 3 for rejecting the call. This call may be monitored or recorded.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't say I was on the November 21st court appearance that she continued lying to me, say she can't give me discovery without me seeing an attorney. And I'm like, yeah, but I got a right to discovery, but she won't do nothing like the attorney, so we continue the case November 21st. From November 21st to December the 5th. That's the request of the court. So I go see attorney Nick Brandmeier, who is also a St. Charles judge assigned to false leaving a scene of an accident charge I got off when Alan messed up the brace and then the car just went out with no brace and then we then died.
I had to jump out the car like Superwoman.
Really?
Stop the car from going down the hill with no brakes towards all mobile homes. This dude worked on our car, but a long story short, he was a demon and really sent us down a hill with no brakes and then watched us almost just crash. But I jumped out and luckily pulled the car door enough to try and slow down the speed. And then he perfectly, when I say this was like a 1 out of, and I'm really good at math, okay, and I speak the truth. This was like a 1 out of a trillion gazillion chances. The degree he turned at, the speed we were going, everything. The way we did this, superhuman. There's no other. I'm telling you, especially if anybody in that trailer park tried to do what we did, 10 homes would have been ran through. The way we did this was a miraculous event. The mixture between me getting out the car, literally running with the car down a whole hill, no brakes, a heavy ass Cadillac, going down the hill. I jump out, I'm having to grab the car door, I'm running with it, I pull it. He takes a turn, boom, and turns the car just enough, and we like stop, and I like pull on the door. And the last pull, I ended up actually stopping my foot and I lost a whole toenail over time. It fell off. But yeah, it was he barely like hit this gutter thing on the side of the house. Not even the house. Like it was like a gutter rail thing, protection thing. Like it was like like I said, mystical, okay? And then they came down, the lady was like, "Oh, that's our neighbor." We were like, "It's kind of late. Like, should we say something?" She's like, "No, I know them. Like, it's all good." Like, we're like, "Okay, cool. Then like we'll talk. We'll probably like we were coming there like every day. Every day. So we were like, "Okay, we'll probably see them tomorrow." Because I mean, it's not like we're going anywhere. We need our car. We're going to be here. So we have to push the car, get it up the effing hill. We have to get it back. We get the car back up the hill, and then we stop it and try to check it, whatever, blah blah blah. And then this car was acting all suspect, and then called the police on us. We went down the hill, or we went down the road because we had to get gas, and the car has to be worked on, so there has to be gas in it. So we're like, okay, we have to go put gas in this, and then bring it right back. Like, but the gas station was right down the street, so because we didn't want to, be all dangerous and shit, but we were like, we had to do that. And when we got to the gas station, cops pulled up on us, and then we were accused of what was it?
Leaving the scene of an accident. So the whole thing about that is, wasn't nobody at home to tell, and then since it was in the trailer park that we were basically sleeping in the car outside because he fixed the other car, and
yeah, he had another car of ours.
So we were trying to leave, he had to call him down there, so we picked the car back up to his house was on the corner on the same street, so he can finish working on it. And as he was steady working on it, another car pulled up probably like 30, 45 minutes later, looking, but they ain't say nothing. Like, that's their neighbors? He didn't say nothing, so okay, well shit, we shouldn't have still not heard any damn.
Yeah, because he was trying to, he was trying to help us. He was trying to tell us how to rig the brakes so we could use them just to get down the hill, whatever. But before that, they watched us do all this, and then they were trying to leave us to go get some ice cream. No joke. No joke. They watched all that, and they were like, well, we had to yell at them because we seen them try to pull off. We knew they watched us. They stopped. They tried to get in their car and leave to go get ice cream, and we were yelling at them like, hey, we're pissed. Like, you just sent us down a hill with no brakes, bro. You watched us. You watched me jump out the car and do all this, and then you're like, ice cream it is. We were like, boy, if you don't get your mother... And again, he already got another car of ours. This is the second one. Like, trust me, this dude, he got something coming. I can't wait for Karma to get his ass, boy. Because now, again, this is why I got the microphone. I'm recording everything. We got our truth, sir. Our truth matters because we got charges on us for this shit. Again, a narrative. Trying to imprison our soul. Trying to entrap us. Trying to make us not free when we got the truth. You hear that shit? Now, if you didn't hear our story, you would just read what they put. And now people are like, oh, no, I'm not going to hire you because you're a felon. Or I'm not going to hire you because you have this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They do that to shadow ban us at a slow rate. Kind of fast. Yeah, that's why I'm going to go over everything, sir. Like, now that they got brought up, I'm like, you know what? Clear that. That's also another story. That's another charge. Clear. Next. Okay.
Check our characters, because the whole thing was they went in the house, so now we gotta sleep in this cold car, and you gotta start the car up to get the heat blowing, so you won't be cold. So that's the whole reason of going to Quick Trip to get some gas to come right back and spend the night and fixing the car tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And then it turned out to be that. But that was the whole reason why I said, okay, check this out. Knowing the stuff I know, I picked that lawyer out for a reason because she said go get a lawyer for the stuff.
Oh, yeah, and I got taken that night.
Yeah,
I got taken then, too. They took me to jail because of warrants. Warrants. Of more fake charges. It's like they don't stop. They do this on purpose. They create a narrative just to put a charge on so they can keep harassing you to keep you in a loop. I'm trying to tell you. It's a trap.
So I go see, I'm going to say judge, but he's a judge. He's a judge, Rockemeyer on that case, but I would go see him as some private attorney for this St. Louis case. Basically, to tackle two things at once to let him know I know what's going on when I see him. him. They didn't put that money.
Is that when we went to St. Charles?
Yeah, so I was going to see him in St. Charles, and to go over my defense for the St. Louis City case, pulling out, gap, general accepted accounting principles information, my strawman information, my authenticated birth certificate, doing two things at once. And he know what's going on, so I'm telling him that the judge in St. Louis won't give me discovery, so I need an attorney. That's the reason why I'm saying him. He's like, well, you tell her you need discovery, you can't line up a defense without discovery. Like, I understand what you're trying to do, you want to tie this down to, the property, what you have in the deed, because it is very vital to the case, just that I don't know anything about real estate laws, it's just a lie, but he don't want to take the case.
I remember.
And the sister's like, hold on, what you call it? I'm like, no, it's American National. He's like, oh, there's a bunch of those down in St. Louis. Ain't none of them out here. So just go down and get a private attorney, they'll be able to help you out. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now I go back to court December 5th. And I'm like, yeah, I spoke with an attorney and I took his court, Nick Brockemeyer, and he said that I'm entitled to discovery. And I mean, when I get the discovery, and they don't even have no video evidence, and it's like 3 chain discoveries. And she continued that case from December 5th to December 19th for the arraignment. That to be questioned her. So now I go to court December 19th and I go get the arraignment. So we jumping back to this case, I'm going to speed it up. So like December 19th comes, I get arraigned because I waived the right to counsel. And this was me without having no attorney. I waived the right to counsel. And I'm like, I already the formal arraignment, so we go ahead and speed this up. I'm ready to try right now. But I ain't pleading not guilty. I said, I ain't want to make a plea, but she was forcing me to make a plea. So I'm like, if I'm being forced to make a plea, then I'm going to say innocent. I was asking her what does guilty mean and not guilty mean, but she wouldn't explain it to me. Because it'll blow their cover. They talking about pay and not innocent and not innocent. She got about the charges to get money. So now she's like, okay, I'm going to set this for January 31st. But this one day, I asked her, can I leave the state? I'm on CBS. I'm like, hey, y'all can continue on the case. I got business to do. I can't make no money, because they got, my license got stolen. I was out in the lawsuit. So I need to go.
Damn, it's hard to hear because this dude in the background.
I know, that's why I screwed it back. But that's how it's going to go.
Oh my gosh, this is a Selly, and I'm gonna tell you something. These people in here, this is why they're trying to depopulate. All right.
So basically, she let me leave the state to go get the driver's license in Florida because I was sure if you're on the case next year.
Yeah.
It said, defended exhibit file.
You said December 5th?
Well, you see November 23rd, 2024.
Yeah.
Right above, you see defendant exhibit file.
Yeah.
And that's them filing the proof that my strawman was terminated. That's why I couldn't get no remote access to the Florida driver's license because they had me dead. My strawman dead.
Right, because we took that whole trip to Florida to go get your license, and they said there's a hold on it, right?
So I was going to get my Florida license, which is active and valid, because I got pulled over in Tennessee. They had a valid license. So when I got to Florida, they would not give me the duplicate license. You would say, if you got a hold on your Missouri license, I'm like, I don't have a Missouri license. I was winning that in 2019. But you're like, well, take it up with the feds. So I already knew it was the feds doing. So what's really going on, the Fed is retaliating mad about the federal tort claim 419 CB 02671 and the collateral tax for unpaid debt claim. He filed the liens and the quick claim deed, taking the land back in the name of the American people.
That's our lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that a little slower?
Okay. They upset and retaliating for the federal tort claim 419 CB 02671 and the 419 CB 02670 and the 419 CD 02659. In the three tort claims, the app is still translated in every language into the known world from the corporate court to show proof of the United States Incorporation, State of Missouri, default judgment, and cash has been filed on it.
AKA, that was our lawsuit suing the United States of America Corporation. And everything involved under that, which would be almost everything, BlackRock, everybody who is basically, if I could sum it up, whoever's stealing energy from the light is getting charged. And we basically said the whole system is stealing from us, and you need to give us our indigenous rights back to be alive freely. And it's like I said, it's funny that we're having this conversation on this so-called helliday. That's how we undo these spells, because we go with real energy and real law. So
yeah, on that note, like what she said, what we did, in terminology, we actually like charged them for racketeering, organized crime.
Yes, racketeering, organized crime. Thank you.
Unlawful arrest, like a bunch of things that's highlighted in our Uniform Commercial Code to tie this down to what they're doing. You charge them and they can't pay, then you collateral attack. And they took the land. We took the land back.
Right, we're taking the land back. It's basically like you took from us, aka that's what America's built on, and we're like, no, we're making this indigenous land back, aka we are the head of the honchos, aka we really the presidents, aka we really the seat of the table, aka we really the pink house, fuck your White House, aka we the new Aquarian Council in here, aka F this whole system when we taking over it because it's supposed to be ours, and we just put it under our over and in our soul's contract in a sense, because that's what our soul's purpose is doing. That's the energy work, and what we're really doing here is like better than Harriet Tubman and all the fake historical organized books that you've all heard about. We're doing this in real life, and yeah, and then it comes on the proof of the pudding, the vegan pudding. So thank you, sir. This is great.
Yeah, because it's on a galactic level, planetarian level, humanitarian level. It's real humongous because you got an organization like British Company take over the land and put us underneath communism, and we over here as Republic, a nation called the King. So it's like we protecting the Constitution, protecting our way of life, and it's just underneath our straws, because this is to protect it, but it's not
right.
saying that we own it. It's saying that we own it.
Right.
Everybody that's affected. So
the contract or the paperwork is higher than theirs because the conscious in it. And it's to protect us on a higher level because we know what they're doing is on the invisible spectrum. And we know that what they're doing is criminal and unlawful, but they call it law. And it's to protect them. So this protects us on that extra layer. People think it's not real. It is. It's an extra layer because we know indigenism is connected to way more spiritual stuff, which has been ripped from America. Nobody's spiritually connected, but everything is spiritual. And they play your ass in these games because all they do is magical stuff around here and cast spells, and you all don't think it's real. Anyways, with the hoodoo voodooery, we undid it all and basically said, we know what you're up to. You're getting charged, and we're consciously going to do this with or without your permission because we don't need it. We're just putting you on notice. We're letting them know we know everything's fake, and people, even the people who work at the offices, and they'll tell us to our face, we're going to get for it. Like, people are going to off us for it. Does it stop us? Absolutely not. Like, he's had guns not work in front of him when they try to pull stuff. He's seen people try to saying blah blah in a car, and nothing's flying. So like their vibrations or whatever they try to commit, we come with the vibranium times whatever amount, and that's not even logically here on this spectrum. But trust me, we've charged them. They are in debt more than we are in debt. They owe us a lot more than we owe them, is how we're gonna sum it up. And yeah,
they not doing the correct oil changes, got us dripping oil, trying to blow us up. There's so much thing they try to kill us. It's by the grace of the Most High.
Yeah.
By the grace, this female I want to follow with.
They hide behind hidden law. Like they said, if we didn't have the conscious stuff, they'd be like, well, we didn't do that. We didn't. We're like, I know damn well I can read body language. I read spirits. I know what's attached to you. I see your aura. I see your intentions. I see this stuff. And they'll be like, no, they didn't do it because they hide in the matrix. It's like, but when you see beyond the veils, you know the truth. But they hide behind the truth. You see what I'm saying? That's what we live in. It's very, that's why we have this, because it protects us, because we consciously know what we're doing. And we are doing it. We're doing it well.
I did a jump to the next thing on this docket. It's that long. I'm trying to glance through it, but as we talk, you like, it ain't no place to do with it because it's so deep. It's a good conversation. And I'm going to call you back if I can.
Yeah, you know? That's what we're here for. This is what the exchange of energy.
Okay. I'm glad they put the light back down. Certain things, because it's really done. All right, so check it out. It says now when you see after that defendant exhibits file, you will see the arraignment held December 19, 2024. So we hit the arraignment. So when you go to the next thing under that 12/19/24 arraignment held, you can see like the notes on there. They ain't put all the right notes on there, but they put some notes on there. But you will see that judge is signed on that mug. So she assigned this to Elizabeth Hogan.
Heather Jacqueline Hayes assigned it to Elizabeth Byrne Hogan.
So yeah, she assigned it to Elizabeth Byrne Hogan, right here.
Mm-hmm.
So
transfer filed. Case transferred to Division 20.
If I would go to Division 20, then they'll transfer it to the judge they're gonna be on there. So
well, I'm saying it's saying transfer right there, so it's saying it's getting transferred.
Yeah, when you go back to the October 31st, it said the same thing. Upon arraignment, this case is denominated to Circuit Judge John L. Moriarty, Division 20. But you see the bond set by Catherine Fowler. That note when we went over that earlier,
yeah,
when we did, that was Division 4. But she don't want the case because I had her last time, and she actually fiduciary with the power to discharge it, and that's it. So she don't want the case in her courtroom because she already been to this last.
This judge has dealt with him before. Ouch. So he is saying like she's not trying to deal with it again. And he did make her fiduciary on, I think, one of his cases or something. And I believe that's why he was saying she doesn't want anything to do with it. Because it'd probably be like a conflict of interest. Like, what the heck could you do if you're a fiduciary? Yeah, he should call back. It's usually kind of decently quick, but I'm just marinating. It's a lot. I think they're blowing like those horns. That loud. Like, gosh. We have to counteract their spells of this, so this is why we get called to do this. We get to speak our truth and have voice when they try to silence it. I don't know. How am I doing all these hands? Like, I'm doing all kinds of stuff with my hands and symbols. Like, forget about it. What the heck going on? I guess I'm getting more power in my hands. This is cool. I'm tapping more and more into superpowers. I've been seeing like my hands getting dried out. Like something's like like a source is kind of being taken. I know I get witchcraft and stuff done towards me all the time. That's why I gotta stay up with my energies. But that's what this is for. That's what conscious. That is what this is for. So we can put the power back in ourselves. But I also get to see the source directly where it's coming from because it's always revealed to me. Crystal ball. Without the ball, man. Just me and my cranium, man. And beyond. Think pink and beyond. I'd just like to thank all the elements and components that have come together to put these vibrations in this particular order. And I just saw 50-50. Sweet. This is great. Here we go, cuz. I don't know why I'm craving cookies.
Is calling you from.
I'm craving cookies.
This call may be monitored or recorded.
Greetings.
Greetings.
And we're back.
Yeah. I think it was basically, I was going over the fact how they basically advocated with the case.
Yeah.
So I know you've seen the same thing. I was just saying I just took it back to the October 31st date because we was talking about that when we weren't recording, where it said, point of rape in this case is denominated Circuit Judge John L. Barati, Division 20. But you see the bond what said, bond said that person recounted GPS causeway, no contact with victims, stay away from said address, no guns, no drugs, by judge capturing him father.
Yep.
Depending on bond, unsatisfied. See the Division 4 judge, I know that because she was my judge the last time, and also made her a fiduciary. It's on the IRS transcripts, because she the one had to expunge the court records for the last case when I had no choice but to plead guilty or stay down here for 2 years being violated. So, but racial like it never happened. Probation.
Ow.
So that's the reason I'm doing probation this time, and that's why I had you send an email to her say I'm not pleading guilty to something identical ever again. So now I'm hoping I have the attorney, schedule you a trial date. It's like jumping up ahead, So and then that's why she moved the court date up from June 20th to June 13th to pick a trial date, but ended up not doing it. They had a joint continuance, and now all of a sudden July 8th is gonna say arraignment held with some new charges. So I'm trying to work my way up to that, but I kind of jumped the gun a little bit with it. It's gonna get that fast from her, cause ain't much been going on, cause I ain't been in court since December 19th.
Hey, this is your space right now, okay? You say what you want to say. This is your time. This is what I did this video for. This is all about you. So say what you want to say. Go over what you want to say. It's your story. So tell it. If it's part of the story, tell it. Doesn't matter. The more details, the better.
Okay. So basically, no judge want to deal with this because even when I went to you went with me to the St. Charles about the you seen the accident. Rocket Molly didn't want to take the stand. Remember it was 5:20. We got caught up at 5 o'clock, but with no judge. Judge. That was December the 19th.
That was a lot of people lined up.
Yeah, that was December the 19th.
All they needed were the shackles.
Yeah, because I had this court at 9:01 a.m. And then I had that court at 5 o'clock p.m. that same day. So when I left this court December 19th for the arraignment, then I went to that court December 19th, 5 o'clock p.m. We got there at 5:20, and he didn't take the stand because he knew that I knew and I can blow his cover. So he stayed in the back, and we got that on tape. And they brought in that one lady talking about, I'm not your judge. I'm just here for one special case and one special case only. And then, who's Mother Cody?
So, if just in case to sum it up, the court started late. It was supposed to be an assigned judge. We get there. We're sitting down in the back. but all people have been coming in, and it was like shortly after we sat down, all of a sudden they wanted to start court. So it was like they were waiting for us, okay? Because they didn't start court. They didn't start court. They were late. And when until we got in there and sat down, like I said, it was a long ass night. Until we got in there and sat down, like shortly after, this lady just walks up to the stand. Not the judge, a whole different lady. Not even on what's on the docket. Like it was a whole dude supposed to be there. He didn't even show up. Didn't even make his own appearance. Didn't even make a special guest appearance. He wasn't there at all. He sent a lady, and he said, he hide in the back. First thing she said was, "All right." She had a whole attitude. All right, who's Norbert Cody? We were like, fuck.
He was in the back chamber. He wasn't coming out till I was on the weed. Like,
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. She said, I'm here for one case and one case only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, so she just, first one. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she got there late. It's not like she got there in the middle of court. They waited, okay? And he was first, which is like, they always put him last. They always put him last because they don't want people hearing. Usually they always try to put us last because they don't want people hearing us. They don't want other people in the court, the sheep in the back, to hear us. So they always try to push our stuff or silence us or threaten us. Always happens. So, but it was funny because this time they flipped it and we're like, you know what? We're not even starting court. We're going to do who they said. I got one case. Now, who is Norbert Cody? And then she just did that and she leave and then he going to continue court the rest of the day. Huh?
Yeah, because as soon as we got there, first of all, they know we was caught at 2:30. But I already told him in emotion, I said, before I got there, affected, that, hey, man, I don't get out for work till 4. So we have to do court late. So they made a special court date and they changed everybody court to late. They probably still doing it now. Like, we get more money, we do it late. So,
boy, weren't they? Everybody making payments. They had a thing set up outside the court. So you could just pay the fee without even going to court. They're like, guilty, here, I'll pay it, and go. All people just ting, 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 ting. Yeah, I'm like, wow.
That's why I get it too, because I got to the window, getting my idea, like, he's here. And that's how I knew he was in the back. And then she was like, y'all judge, don't deal with y'all. So let me get him out the way. And the only thing she did was minute it and send it to the circuit court. So that's why I got to go to a different court about that. So that's the traffic in practice. So I'm gonna get to this real court when you deal with the criminal charges. Because the traffic in practice, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just find out their legal intent. You can sign off on them. So, but you don't want to do no prison time, and that's what this case is about. You got prison time hanging over Class E felonies, 4 years, misdemeanor 1 day to a year, stuff like that. So I just had to bring that up because that's what happened December 19th. And after that, you see December 23rd, motion for civil counsel. And then you see January 20 bond violation report is filed. January 21st, bond violation report is filed. DPS disconnect. Then January 28th, DPS situation report, dead battery violation. And then January 23rd, warrant issue, no bond allowed. Bond revoked as defendant has been charged with another felony, 24-CR08861, involving a weapon. One to issue bond said that no bond allowed, so order jail to be held for a 160. So that's why I'm still up in here with no bond, because of that St. Louis County case. When I said that dude who approached the court November the 7th, he was being crazy about the rights. Accused my GPS tracker of being a gun, is what he put out there, scared that girl, and probably bribed her to make a false report to pay her. I'm being honest, because that's how stuff works. So now I'm here with no bond, it's about a gun case, but and I got locked up January 11th, and that's the reason I did the dead battery January 20th, and I'm detained. And GPS disconnect January 21st because I'm detained. And then I'm in Mexico. I get kilograms over in Mexico like this because it's like the CO is raping inmates now. And I get violated, falsely classified, put in the SAG pod with the rapers, wrists, guys. They gang affiliated, they sue Whoop, and the CEOs gang affiliated also. And they even probably on me. So thank goodness.
You basically got put with like the super criminals, like the really messed up people. Like they separate people, put them in categories, and they put you in like people that did like real messed up crimes, like really messed up crimes, and they're trying to put you in the same place around these people.
And I'm just on an extradition, waiting for St. Louis County to come get me. So Mitch and Rich showed up December the 6th to come take me to St. Louis from New Mexico. Basically, human trafficking me, got me in a Mizzou jacket, hoodie, handcuffs on the knees, so I can't put my hands out, and took me on 2 airplanes, from Albuquerque to Fort Worth, Dallas, to St. Louis Lamper Airport. Fed me twice, did a more jungle talking. But man, we had good conversations though, because even though I be on my sovereign stuff, like, I'm like, you know what? They got me out there hellhole, because even they said some fishy, dangerous stuff going on down there. Like, they the type that won't let us leave with you, man. They hold us hostage with you. I'm like, we got no hostage. And then the Japanese American dude talked to his wife, like, you know what? Like, he got sense. I actually talked to this sovereign. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I thought he was gonna be like a trip of hell, man. They told me he was a pain in the ass. Like, dang. He's like, but in the first 3 minutes of meeting you, I already knew that one too. You a good guy. Like,
another story.
Yeah, he got to know me myself, and like, nah, I could talk to you because they ended up asking me a bunch of questions because I know more about this stuff than they do. So they dropped me out to St. Louis County February the 6th. I see the judge February the 7th about this case. And as soon as I go in front of her, the prosecutor say he's indicted. So I'm indicted before I even see the judge. My initial appearance, I'm indicted. And the judge say, that's kind of fast. Like, man, how you do that? Like, I never had this happen before. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not even a judge then. So she held her court for like an hour or two and got on the phone talking to I don't know who asking for instructions. So she said, you know what? I'm just going to schedule you a court date February 14th just so you won't be sitting here in limbo. I'm like, dang, can you just give me a bond then? She said, I can't do nothing about the bond because I'm not your judge. And tell you, I'm not even sure I can schedule this court appearance. I'm not your judge. I'm just going to do it anyway because I don't want you sitting here in limbo. So February 14th, they come take me to court. They want to hold me for last because word getting around now. This is American National. And then I had to speak up for myself, like, hey, you scheduled this, so I just want to sit in limbo. She said, oh yeah, it's like the same situation. I'm not his judge, so let me get in front of his judge. So then I go back to court February the 19th and see Bruce Hilton is the arraignment. And then he said a March 13th court date from the arraignment. But I go back to court the next day, February the 20th, and I'm in Brian May's chambers now. And he talking about this the arraignment. But no one know what's going on. So I'm looking like, now what's up with the bond? He's like, well, I said the bond for you February 27th. February 27th come, he forgot all about it. People not paying out. Then he forced the attorney to step in on me. So I said, I want to waive my right, go post say, waive my right to counsel. I want to set this case to trial. So he's going to force the public defender in on to not do that. But he ended up giving me the RO bond because he seen that I had no bond in St. Louis City. So he's like, I let them just hold you and deal with you. So he gave me the bond just so St. Louis City was going to pick me up. That's how I get down here February 28th.
Yeah, and how long were you held there?
I was held in St. Louis County from February the 6th to February 28th.
And then before that, you were held in New Mexico for how long?
January 11th to February the 6th. So now
and in New Mexico, he was waiting and then to pick him up. And technically, they only have how long?
They have 30 days to come get you, or they just let you go, but they want us to be out. Now, the Mexico police officer who ambushed me, because there was not no pulled over, nothing necessarily. They just ambushed me coming out, reaching for their weapons, like, what's your social security number, what's your social security card, and all that type of stuff. So I already knew what it was, because like I said, we was doing that, and I seen the police and fire trucks over there on some Mason stuff, and I already found out that I had this case, and when I checked the case net to look up this case information, I'm like, dang, I got a new case out? So we stopped at the library, and I faxed over.
Yeah, because that happened in what, October, right? So the charge or whatever, this wasn't even on there until January, right?
Well, okay, this happened with the incident happened October 30th, 2024.
Yeah.
But the charge was filed to December 26th.
Of December, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know about it until January the 8th. So that's why I stopped. Well, like January 9th. That's why I stopped when we was on the road and to the library and I faxed it.
Yeah.
Doing that, now they're still, they be over the library computers and all that stuff. So now they're like, oh, he over here. So they put the hit out to have them people come in first. Because they want coincidental why we got pulled over like that.
Because you were trying to, again, get ahead of it.
Yeah, because I'm always going to try to do that. So now that would lead to when I got to St. Louis County. So I know what they doing. Because I'm like, hey, I already got this faxed over.
At the library, I remember you were faxing over the picture of the ankle monitor to show that he didn't have a weapon. He has an ankle monitor on it, and that would completely get rid of the whole thing, because they're acting like it's a weapon. It's like, no, he had an ankle monitor on. So, and here's the proof, and it should have just been whoosh. But he's saying, oh no, the feds and all that, they were starting to kind of, we saw them kind of like swarming around. We're like, oh, here it comes. And then we got a DoorDash order that was like, so my government slave name was Clarissa, and the name was almost the same with like X's on both sides. And we were just like, okay, looking at it. He goes, look at this order. I remember him showing me, like, look at this. Like, this looks like some Fed stuff. And I remember going, it does. What the heck is that?
Yeah, I said it's a Fed order, and I'm about to get locked in. And I said I'm about to get locked up.
He did.
Burrito, made it vegan, because I knew that was going to be my last time eating. Because, like, when you go through this, you didn't know. So I'm about to get locked up on this order. It's a Fed order. They've been putting me on Fed orders since 2019, and they put me on the terrorist list. So they didn't know harass me.
I remember. Yeah, he did. And then we got in the car. I mean, you got in the car because I was waiting. But you got in the car, and on our way to the order, we're like kind of close. Off to the side, there's like a couple cop cars, but not just like regular cars. And they had like, they're super bright lights, like those ones that they use, not like their car lights, but like the ones they have, the extra ones. They were on like super bright outside the house.
Yeah,
when we started.
so that's right, and then by me passing that stuff over, that would be the reason why they decided to go with a grand jury indictment before my initial appearance, because they see my defense that I already don't beat it. So that's important, because that's why I'm still here with no bond, because that case would have been dropped. I wouldn't be sitting here with no bond. So they working together hand in hand. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why they gave me the oral bond, so I can sit down here with no bond. So I go to court March the 3rd, which is right after Mardi Gras. So when we go to court on the video, there was no prosecutor there, no public defender there, just a judge that was my judge, because they failed to approve. They was hung over, assuming. And the judge like, I'm going to get you in front of your judge as quick as possible and set it for March the 10th. But since when I faxed all the information to St. Louis County about the ankle bracelet, I also sent in appointment of counsel to St. Louis City and St. Louis County for a public defender, so I wouldn't have to appeal to court into trial. So that's why Paul assigned as a public defender on the St. Louis City case, who filed a motion for me March the 2nd for a bond reduction. And March the 10th, council status hearing continued to May 23rd.
Yeah, so, and it's funny because again, government thing for me, because I realized our souls are in a soul contract, so like his life and my life are things that we came from too, like everything's interconnected. So it's funny because this aligned March 10th is my so-called Matrix birthday. So they put it on the Matrix birthday. This is when I've also shown videos of where I was in New Mexico by myself and dealing with all that. So this Andrew Cook that was assigned to him unlawfully goes in court for him. They didn't come get him, didn't talk to him. He just showed up and went to court for him on his behalf.
Yeah, he assigned to Cook me. I don't think he's a real person. It's probably just a LLC name.
An AI. We got AI attorneys.
Yeah.
It's probably a thing since I said it. We're making a joke, but not a joke because, again, no one has seen this person. He's been assigned this person, Andrew Parrish Cook. No one has seen him. He has not made an appearance. He has not talked to Malak, who they call Norbert for his slave name. This dude has not showed up or talked to him one time. But he shows up to his court dates and then puts stuff in for him. So we're like, who you working for, bro? I've called this guy multiple times, left voicemails. I've called the supervisor, left voicemails multiple times. I've got nothing. Yet, still, to this very day, this Andrew Parrish Cook keeps appearing on his behalf and just putting things in. Like, not even consulting with him, not talking about nothing. Just going in there and, whatever he feels like. When I call the jail, and I even asked the lady, and they'll lie all day. They want to protect themselves. So I know it's real. When I ask certain questions and people tell me the answer, I'm like, oh, because I know any other day, like, you would not want to tell me this. So when they tell you the truth, that's how you know it's real. I asked this lady, if someone gets assigned, one of these public defenders, attorney, whatever, aren't they supposed to come see the person? She said, she hesitated. She was like, I mean, yeah, they are supposed to. I was like, thank you, because I'm trying to verify. Because this person hasn't come one time. Hasn't not communicated once. Nothing. And she's like, oh, yeah, like, they're supposed to come and talk. So, it's interesting. He's talking about this guy pretty much showing up to this court date. And I remember March 10th. And they always post everything way later. They make things, the dates wrong. They erase stuff off of docket entries. They do all kinds of stuff. So the stuff that they record isn't always accurate. They're lying all the time. But anyways, back to 3-4 and then 3-5 and then we got 3-7. And on the 3-7 date talks about hearing continue 9:30, scheduled for 5:23. So they didn't even act like they had the court on March 10th.
Exactly. It said, call continue a request of defense to 5:23. This is the first time you'll see a request to defense, which is Andrew Cook. Now, public defense works for the state. The judge works for the state, and the state is the one who's prosecuting the plaintiffs claiming they're the injured party. So it's already not a full and fair trial because it's the state versus me, basically. The prosecutor works for the state, the public defender works for the state, and the judge works for the state, and the state is the injured party.
Ew, they literally, like, it says it right here, though. It's funny because it says, defendant is ordered to appear on Division 3 Monday, March 10th, 9 a.m. But it's funny because you don't ever see a March 10th entry.
Exactly. He scheduled it. He changed
I'll
it.
tell you. And then they try to put, oh, well, on 3/7, they try to say that they posted this on 3/7. So this is even before the court date that they put before. You see how they get lost in their own retardation? Anyways, so we got 3/7, right? Before 3/10, which they had a court, which they did have it. And before that, they put, we have a court for 3/10, okay? They're putting 3/7 the day before, which they put after the 10th. So they'd be playing with dates too. They act like, oh, this happened on the 7th. No, it didn't. You did this on like the 12th, 13th, 14th, whatever day you did it on. But they record it as if they did it on the 7th. So they did it before. They act like they did it before the court, but then also the same time. That's retarded. Then the second thing, they didn't even post that they had a court on the 10th. So on the 7th, they post scheduled for 5/23/25 at 9:30 with Elizabeth Hogan.
Yeah, they tamper with the records a lot. They erased the 1 second note from the attorney Paul who scheduled the March 2nd court date. So
yeah, because that comes out of nowhere too.
Exactly. So the March 2nd court date is on how they don't show it.
Right. Right, because on the top it just says hearing set for 3/7 at 2025. But it's like, where was that entered at before?
Exactly.
It wasn't.
So yeah, so then May 23rd come, he continued the case to June 20th. And he said,
oh, Andrew Cook.
Yeah, nah, this I can't see because they ain't gave me no documentary, so this is I went out like when I asked you, you know, Jerry got to call someone outside to check this documentary case there, so you can stay in the home. Because once you want to start of jail, they don't want to do nothing. COs and on it, but they don't know as much.
So like whenever you're locked up or you're in there and detained, you can't even check your own like stuff going on with your court.
Yeah, they'll say right to the court, like that's one of them who violated me. So yeah, they all like.
Oh wow. Yeah. So the only way you're getting information is because of the outside. Because like you're the guy's not even showing up to talk to you either. So like.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they're mad, because you over here responding to their actions and you're not supposed to know what they're doing because they're trying to hide it.
People, you gotta get your documents. I ain't the only one who call it no course trying to get them. Everybody calls the person going to do the same thing. Like, man, I don't know what's going on. If I ain't know what's going on, I don't know what I've been doing. But if I know what's going on, I'm always running to the courts. So my name gets put out there and get known for like, you know, like the jailhouse lawyer in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I write people motions and they get to go home. I write a motion for me, they get to know it. So it lets me know what I'm doing outside here is something. Because like people sign themselves out on. And they get people bond for murder and all that stuff. And I'm looking for some folks still in the mail, can't get a bond. So like they more scared of me putting a lien on somebody's house than a person when I kill somebody. Like they don't know the drill, right? They demons not say the end of their life. And I'm proving all this. Cause like he changed it to May 23rd. And he put a motion for discovery once before 2025 to cover his tracks, like he's doing something for me. When I already motioned for discovery November 20th, 2024, already got discovery.
Yeah, you're the one doing all the work. Like you're already putting in the motions. You're doing it because you're representing yourself. It's just like you're doing all the work. You're putting the motions in, and then this dude just shows up to court and puts in whatever he feels like.
He's saying you could ask for much for discovery, never got discovery, so you it was covered. Like his job is to spin me like on my side, but he's a double agent in my hustle working for the state.
And it took him how long to even do anything? He only did something because you did something.
Well, like the first thing he did was file this motion for discovery, but that's a false motion. That's a dummy motion because I already had it, and I already asked for discovery. So they just y'all got like you did something.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't do anything for a long time until you did something, and then he acts like he's doing something. It's like you're doing it all. You're the one doing it.
We're talking about when he actually sent me the discovery, and he didn't do nothing. He didn't do that until May 28th.
Yeah. And it still wasn't even a real discovery.
So yeah, because you can see on the case that docket entry that March the 19th answer to disclosure was filed, which is the discovery by Andrew Costello. So he had discovered just March the 19th, but he ain't sent it to me to May 28th, which so happened to be the day that you emailed Jeff Harden folks.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell your client not to have exploitation members sending me emails. So that's how I can see.
Triggered.
So he wasn't going to send no discovery at all until that happened. And then before that, you can see 124th, offender, mail receipt, affidavit, fiduciary administrator. That's the letter I wrote to you on Judge Dollar. Division 4, they know, like, you're the fiduciary administrator, but this just shows his debt for his business. And you see affidavit, mercy on me, you see March 31st. I'm like, man, don't violate me. Then you will see April the 2nd, the affidavit, motion per se, attorney termination, set trial, bond reduction, motion earned, affidavit, motion earned, bond reposition, bond reduction, attorney termination, city trial. And the same thing on April the 3rd. But I really mailed those out once the 10th, once the 11th, when I didn't go to court.
So they didn't post it for a whole month?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, well, like 3 weeks. In matrix terms.
And the court right never do it.
Right, so they'd be taking a long time to even record and post your stuff.
And I had to file a grievance on her about my mail getting tampered with, just so they can do that. And then I sent them the affidavit through their recommendation, like giving them a recommendation on how to resolve this case. Like you can put your recommendation in. Like they have proposed a recommendation of probation. I post a recommendation. If y'all don't keep violating me, pay me and I'll let go to security into better property. Or take me to trial and lose. And I keep my property and then I'll sue y'all.
And lose.
You can't split a talk on me. You talk to me about talk. What you're doing. So, and from there, I don't know all the things that's on there because that's what I got is April 17th. So, like, what do you see? What else is on there after April 17th? Like, what's like, just give me like the date of the docket entries that you see on there.
Okay, you said for what?
After April 17th, like, what docket entries you got on there?
23rd, 28th, 30th.
And I'm about to write these down for this. My mental note, you could. I mean, you know this. So, you say 23rd.
So you had, let's see, after the 2nd, there's the 3rd, offender mail received for notice hearing bond reduction, attorney termination.
What day is that?
4/3.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass 4/17.
Okay, so 4/23/25 is affidavit appearance bond.
Okay.
4/28 letter to the court.
Okay.
4/30 offender mail received, a mail received by defendant Norbert Cody II.
You don't say what mail?
I mean, I can click on them.
Yeah, can you please?
That one's whoa, didn't want to zoom in. Affidavit. What the heck is that? Nolo contendere plea?
Yeah, nolo contendere plea.
Okay, it is nolo. Okay, nolo contendere.
That means I'm not contesting the charges. I'm not saying guilty or not guilty. I maintain my innocence. I'm saying I'm not contesting the charges. I pay them if you prove me guilty and a jury trial 12 beyond reasonable doubt. So can you go back to that April 28th? Click on that letter.
Yeah. This one is to Division 3 Court Clerk.
Division 3 Court Clerk. I was thinking 10.
To the clerk of my case, could you pretty please? ah! Not even can you please. Can you pretty please schedule me a court date for a motion hearing to discuss the reinstatement of my bond no later than 2 days after receiving this letter?
And I still ain't got a motion hearing schedule this. July 4th.
Since motions for notice of hearing, court date hasn't been scheduled. Motions were filed 4/2/25 and 4/3/25. Also, can you set this case for trial at the next available trial date or change the 5/23/25 counsel status hearing to a trial date as I'm ready for trial? All I'm asking for is a full and fair trial and to be out on bond and await the trial. I just need you to schedule me a hearing date, please and thank you. Prepare persona, Malak Baalim, trustee, UCC 1-308.
So I'm getting out in front of May 23rd. So when May 23rd came, why I ain't get no bond or no trial? I get a continuance to say, let's try to transfer this to Division 4 for a possible resolution of probation.
I mean, yeah, because even if they try to act like they didn't get your stuff relayed or whatever, all this is documented that they got this before court.
Yeah, but it don't mean nothing unless the public care about it, because it's court of public opinion to hold them accountable for all their violations.
Okay.
For the Constitution, which is everybody's protection. So they violate me, they will violate everybody. So we got to get this word out so people can understand what's going on. And it's like, don't just be going on with everyday life, like not caring about us. Like, hey, look, they did this to me. A person with no record, clean. What can they do to you? That's what Wendy Williams was saying.
Hey, perfect then. So this is for all of us. That's why I'm recording it.
So you say April 23rd was their turn by April 19th or April 25th?
Nope. There's 23rd, 28th, 30th, and then it goes to 5/7.
Okay, what happened 5/7?
Offender mail received.
Well, man, I can't even I got another thing.
Let's see. Bond reduction, final disposition, attorney termination, and set speedy trial.
Okay, another speedy trial that they're ignoring. Okay, so we go past
5/9, affidavit motion, speedy trial, set trial date.
Make sure they get out.
5/14, offender mail received, affidavit, power attorney.
That's why let us know that you the power of attorney, that you got the right to send emails.
Oh, me personally.
Yeah. That's what they're saying. No, you my power attorney.
Yeah, I'm your voice pretty much. Yeah.
And that's why she said email. Even though you're a power attorney, you can't represent them in a court. All that type of stuff.
Well, neither can a terminated person.
Exactly.
Like, the only reason they're getting away with it is because he's showing up. Because they have to have court with him. If this person wasn't in court, they're either going to have court with or without, like, but he's ready. You got to help. He's held there. So they're trying to use this ghost attorney in between just to keep him in there for longer, and then continuing it and keep going because they just want to keep his body locked up. Wild. Because, like, seriously, you've already let him know. Like, terminated. I don't want you. I want to represent myself. I already let it be known. It's even on recorded. You've all read the papers. You've recorded it. And you're still letting him show up without, again, not even talking to him. Like, that's suspect. I mean, like, do the math. It's not, like, ironic or coincidence that he hasn't reached out or said anything to you. He's not even supposed to be there.
Yeah, and then she said he's saying, I'm going to have a lawyer on file to give a court date, and he show June the 13th because she switched the court date from June 20th to June 13th to select the jury trial date without me knowing that I put all this stuff on record.
Yep.
And they all agreed together saying we're going to continue this case.
Yep.
And I've been seeing her, and now all of a sudden there's a note on her say July 8th, arraignment going to be held. When I already was arraigned December 19th. Talking about a true bill grand jury indictment when I already had a true bill grand jury indictment October 31st. So this is double jeopardy. The grand jury on October 31st didn't say, okay, we're going to charge him with harassment. He said, really, now all of a sudden we go back to the grand jury, whatever that date on there, I'm asking you to it on date.
You have 3 minutes remaining on this call.
That's double jeopardy. So what we got after 5:14, I'm trying to just skim through it.
5/23/25. Order for continuance.
Okay, yeah. And then after that,
I'm talking about some 6/13 hearing held. Under that, 5/30 offender mail received letter to the court. Wow. Hold on. Cuz. This is not okay. Okay, well. I'm trying to read what this says though. I don't know what this is. Affidavit 534-125-10-140-40.153.
okay, that's probably we put the polls for city trial. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
basically, I'm rewriting stuff. I'm like, well, maybe they don't understand how I'm writing it, so I'm rewriting.
Okay.
So that's what that is. And that was on 5:30. We catching up. Cause I know it's running out, and I'm only gonna have like $2 left after this.
Okay.
We right through that one. Okay. 2 sandwiches today. Just getting lunch right now too.
Okay. So yeah, then we're caught up to 6/9 order for continuance. Case moved from 6/20 to 6/13 at 9:30. And then 6/13 says hearing held associated from 5/23 hearing scheduled. And then they just now put 7/2/25 as the arraignment scheduled 7/8/25 at 9 a.m.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna call you back, and then we can recap all this.
Cool. So we're caught up with that. Good.
Caught up today. So I know 5:23. What's this continuance? Then we'll say that reason on I don't know that earlier in the conversation. They said we're gonna continue to June 20th for a case transfer for a possible resolution of probation. But 5.
Pause. Ow. My phalange. Oh yeah. Also tied into the lawsuit, I did put, if anything were to happen to me, Jaden Smith gets everything. I put that personally. I put his name on it.
This call may be monitored or recorded.
Greetings. I gave you, I didn't know how many gold passes you had, but I put a couple more on there.
Thank you. Yeah, because it was the last gold pass too.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, yeah.
I was gonna make it expecting last or.
No, I reloaded it, and I'll send you some more. I like that. I like that I'm purchasing some kind of gold. Golden nuggets.
Because you said that the 23rd, that was a continuance to June 20th, and then June the 9th was that May 23rd. It put the reason on our right. That was filed by Andrew Cook.
Yeah.
Right, can you just read that for like the court conversation?
Why I oughta. I already exited out. I'm over here smoking. I'm just smoking a blunt by the door.
We ain't gotta read it. It's just the same old mumbo jumbo. We already went over that. Basically, he continued it. And he said to transfer to Division 4.
What day you talking about?
The May 23rd note. The Andrew Cook put on it.
That whole docket entry.
Yeah.
Okay. Hearing continued, rescheduled, requested court continuance, requested court. Hearing set for 3/7/2025 at 9:30. That's what it said.
On May 23rd?
Let me see. Order for continuance. Yeah. I'm reading everything that's on there. And then it says Andrew Cook caused. Well, let me see. Order judgment. Then it. Damn! You would be so annoying. It's like, look at the timing. Like, that didn't happen until I tried to read something. Anyways, cause called and matter continued for setting of transfer to Division 4 for resolution with probation matter on June 20th, 2025 at 9:30. Andrew Cook, signed. On May 23rd. So he went to the May 23rd court, again, on your behalf without saying anything. And in handwriting, I'll even show the screen.
After he fired.
Right, after you have been terminated, he went appeared to court again and asked for a resolution with probation matter.
Yeah, so maybe trying to recommend probation to get the case done. Most people just jump on there and take it. I was trying to get up out this mug. I'm like, nah, not this time, bro. I ain't.
Yeah, because it's basically like he's like, from his perspective, he's like, we should talk about like probation for what? I'm not guilty. There's no cause. There's no discovery. There's nothing. And you're trying to sit here and push a probation when it's like, I shouldn't even be on probation. I shouldn't have anything. I should be released. I shouldn't even been here this long.
For all my time. So it's like, yeah. So I have to stand up for righteousness and the consciousness of it and like not bow down to the tyranny of these people. Because that's how they always get it out the hook. Like, no, I'm trying to shut these people down and expose this because they violating the Constitution. Like, oh, good, we didn't get no good cause. I'm not facing no any of these crimes. I don't do much. Now, if I had an attitude problem, but this is the reason why I got an attitude problem. I'm frustrated. Like, do y'all know what's going on? What I'm going through? These people blocking my checks as if I'm not the signature on file. Like, I'm not the authorized signer of the account holder. Like, I don't know what gap is. Like, everything I know is going to exist. I'm like, wow. Like I didn't file a lawsuit. Like I wasn't violated. Like I haven't made it public record on my nationality, political status. This lady disrespecting me. Like I'm not the trustee of my straw man, the responsible party of it. This person acting like they got more power on my straw man than me. When I got all the documentation, did all the steps, and the understanding that, and understanding the understanding that I do manage my own trust fund. I've been advised the public service that didn't know that I attained the legal age of 18 or authenticated my birth certificate on a state level and a fed level. Rejected all those colonial contracts my parents put me on. I'm like, if I ain't who is? Like, well, it's cool, they do it. How if I do it? I'm like, like, they attitude, but like, you make me have to be a nigga with attitude. Like, some NWA stuff. Like, y'all should, that was my influence. God armed it with her consciousness and, like, mega mind presentation. Like, so I come to court, I'm gonna have some swag with me because I can't let y'all just roll me over and be scared to speak the truth.
Right.
So I'm like, this is my story to tell. I'm gonna tell it like I tell it, and that's the whole reason why I was looking like a bum. Like I wanted to see how to say Israel life for real. See my nappy hair, nappy head, and go against society in the sense of I don't have to be dressed up in a suit to have conscience,
right.
To speak. So I'm in a courtroom in Boston, and they come in their suits and all that stuff, and I'm in oranges or clowns, good, nappy as a mug. I've been locked up for a mug, but I'm spitting profound knowledge and wisdom, and I'm innocent, making them look bad. They going to school to get taught what I was born with.
Yeah, and so they want to really break your spirit, and so it's like when you show up and you got conscience and you're clear and you're well spoken, they're like, dang, we didn't break his spirit. Dang, we didn't break their spirit. Like, all right, and they get mad because, like, you see, we've been in court, we've seen interactions, we've dealt with so many police at this point. That's why I'm like, I've had more than enough experience to be able to see through it, and they treat people different. When you're a perfect slave and you sit here and say, okay, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, I'll pay the charge or whatever. Yeah, I'm guilty. They're like, okay, cool. They're real nice. But when you sit here and give them real law, real conscience, and let them know about themselves, oh boy, you wonder why we got charges. They're like, oh no, you got me messed up. You think you higher than us? You think you smarter than us? You think you better than us? You think you outside the system? You think you better than the system? You think you don't have to apply the rules? It's like, no. But if I did try to apply to your fake ass rules, I'd be slow as hell, and I'm not. So they get mad, and that's what they do in court. Like, when you don't sit here and say, oh, okay, just abide by themselves, because they want to have they want to have the power. And when we go in there, we're our own judge. We're sovereign. So we're like, you're not over me. You don't tell me what my fate is. You don't judge me. You don't know nothing. I stand with the truth, especially when you're with the truth. So when you really approach so-called judgment and someone's trying to do the anti-truth and you know the truth, it's like, then I know what the court system is. You want me to bow down to you, and you want to play the role of God on the bench and wear the robe, the Catholic Vatican robe, and be like, oh, no, I'm going to settle your fate. No, I'm God. I'm going to tell you what you can and can't do, and I rule over you. They just want to govern a person. So, like, they really don't like when a free person goes up there, because we're looking at them sideways and crazy, because they are crazy. And then they want to do a mental evaluation on a person who's conscious, because they're like, oh, no, you're going out of our system. Something's wrong with them. They think for themselves. Something's wrong with them. They think that they can't think for themselves. Literally, like, if you break down, like, I've been there in court with you. It's like, it's wild to watch. Like, they're like, hold on, you think you can think for yourself? They're crazy. You feel me? That's wild. They're like, no, you need somebody else to think for you. Then you're not crazy. Somebody.
I know. Let me tell everybody how to beat that. Cause
yes. Yes, hit them with it. Thank you. My Ingo.
You're welcome. I ain't go to you because you, like, he gave the cops the biggest. Like,
Poetic snaps. Poetic snaps for you. What'd you say?
Say, all praise to go to the Most High. Like, you gave me the conscience to do this. I'm just, malak, the hands, the messenger, the guinea pig, the body that got to go through it to translate it to us local sinners.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, how you beat this stuff, how it's going to go with it. So you start speaking some consciousness, they going to call you crazy.
Yes.
Now they want to be crazy. That's their defense. They'll call you conspiracy theorists. That's how they come at you. So now it's like it's a scare tactic. It's a threat. So not threatened by that. It's like, okay, you gotta be patient and wait till they throw they punch. It's an order of things. So they gonna throw they punch line like they jab at you and say, right. I'll order you to do a mental health evaluation, but they gotta put the law down and it says what, you know what I'm saying, why they got the power to do that. So in Missouri, it would be Missouri Revised Statute Section 552.020, saying that I order you to do mental evaluations to see if you're competent to participate in police. Well, you can go look up that law, and then you counter it with another law, which is 552.030. It comes right after it. You got to read. So I'm on my EI stuff now. But this is 552.030, and you get to subsection 6, it would say all persons is presumed, since they do a lot of assuming, is presumed free of mental defect. So you have to assume free of mental defect, and the burden of proof is on the accused. So you just gotta have common sense. So if all people is presumed to be free of mental defect, why is you even answering any questions about your mental state? Because somebody assuming that you got mental defects because they don't understand your doctrine, your paradox, your ideology. They don't understand that because they're not the same political status as you, same nationality as you. They're not living the life as you live. They don't go through the same everyday experiences that you live. They don't process thoughts how you process thoughts, so they can't call you crazy fool. But if the judge order it, you best believe you're going to go to this evaluation, though, because these people are judge orders. So when it comes down to the actual mental health evaluation, this is how you did it. You just be quiet and listen. Let them go first, like playing spades. It ain't my turn to bid, it's your turn to bid. Because people be like, how many books you got? Like, man, what point you trying me? So how does it go is the person that show up and we say, all right, make sure you are. And then say, okay, everything you say can be and will be used against you in the court of law.
Right. That line is always suspect to me, like how it's even worded. It will be used against you. Not like, oh, this will be used in court. No. This anything you say will, and it's guaranteed in our way to be used strictly against you. Did you hear what I said? And everyone's like, yep. So anyways, let me tell you all the details. Oh. And then when it comes to court, yeah, so basically we're going to tell our story regardless. We're going to pick and choose. Oh, then depending on how much depending on the status or how much they like you or how they're feeling that day or, whoever paid them off, whatever. Then, it's funny because it still isn't real law because they still are like, okay, well, let's change it to this law. Like, how many people got pulled over and they're like, oh, I was going to get a speeding ticket, but the cop was like, I'll give you a seatbelt. That's technically not the real law. It's not, you just change, you feel me? But another person gets put over, does the same thing, and they feel a different type of way. That person gonna get a charge plus whatever they feel like. And if their wife yelled at them enough, oh, that person might get 3 tickets that day because this guy is like, you know what? Forget everybody. But it's real though. Like for real. We were straight in court. I brought this to his attention, I believe. Correct me if this isn't correct, but I feel like I don't have to say that often. Actually, I really don't. But anyways, I witnessed this in court. I was like, look, pay attention to how the judge treats every person. Like, we've watched judges say people's stuff out loud, then depending on a different person, they'll quietly say their stuff. You won't hear anything in the court, blah, blah, blah. Another person walks up, all their stuff's out, the tea is hot, everyone knows in court. Another person walks up, might start out loud, and then, wait, everything starts to turn into a whisper, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, that's wild. Then also, it's like you see somebody go up there. Oh, the judge is just like, hi, great, yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and call this person. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Let's call this person. Oh, you want to do this? Yeah, sure, no problem. 10 minutes later, okay, have a nice day. Thank you. Next person. Okay, yeah, I'm guilty. Okay, say less. Here you go. Next, $50. Next person. Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay. Oh, you don't even speak English? Let's go get a whole translator. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, you want to ask me how many questions? Oh, sure, I got all day. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. 20 minutes later. Next. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, not guilty. Okay, you want to wait for an attorney? Okay, yeah, we can do that. Blah, blah, blah. I said, wait till it gets to your turn. Every person is getting treated like this. Even the messed up ones. The ones they got ankle bracelets on, they got convicted twice, 3 times, whatever. Comes up. Oh, hey, Your Honor. Oh, hey, yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. How you doing? Okay, you broke probation. Okay, aw, poor you. It's okay. Don't worry. Aw, there. Okay, well here. Let's go ahead and set up another court date, okay? You want to try to get somebody to help you? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Just so nice. He comes up. Everybody turns into trolls. Everyone. The whole demeanor of the judge, the clerks, everybody, the officers on the side, everyone in there completely changes character. Like everything about them completely changes in there. I'm like, watch. And it happens every time. When there's certain people like us, when we go up there, it's a whole different thing. It is a whole different place.
Okay, it's the last 3 minutes. I want to wrap it up because I want to just end it with talk about all this stuff. So just to finish that, and thank you by the way, but I'm glad you tweeted because that's what will be happening.
Of course.
Okay, but so when their mental health evaluation start, they'll say, things it can be, will be used to get you court of law, and then they will say, so you want to start. Anytime I ask you a question that you don't feel comfortable answering, just let me know, and we'll move on to the next question.
Yes.
So you gotta be strict with it. If anything I ask you that you don't feel comfortable answering, just let me know. We'll move on to the next question. So like things I don't feel comfortable questions.
Yeah, when it comes to mental health evaluation, I don't feel comfortable answering any of the questions.
Any questions now? I need something to go for. In your mind, it's your problem. Like, I'm sorry, I put the fit. I ain't answering no question on my mental. I just say the code 552.06030 section 6 says this, that, and third, and I'm putting the fit. And that's that. No, I'm not releasing my medical record to you. No, I'm not releasing my school records to you. And then they got to go off that. And how you groom, how you say it, say it politely. And yeah, you pass it. So,
excellent.
I thank you. Cause thank you. I love you.
I love you as well.
Thanks for the gold passes so I can watch some documentaries. And
I'll hit you up with some more gold bricks.
Yes, man. I'll talk to you.
Your call will end in 1 minute.
Oh, you got the bill stuff coming up, and you're gonna be working there a couple of days. I get my free call Moon Day.
Oh yeah. All right. Oh look, 10:10 on the computer. Not here, but on the computer. It's about to be 1:11. Ooh, okay. Sweet. Gracias, Mayingo. Namaste.
It felt good to go over this recap and get out this out. Love you so much.
Yay!
Can't do nothing without no queen in your corner, man. For anybody, especially if you're going through this, she loyal, she down, and she's consciously, she's the truth. Love you.
Love you as well.
Cool. Long as they got that, man.
Okay, and that concludes that. And it just now hit 111, and I just saw 156.56 at the same time. They hit the same point. Great. That's timelines crossing in one quantum second. Another one here. Another truth serum. Speaking of. It's another one. This one's going to take a while to upload. This is, I think, the longest video thus far. But this is kind of cool. I was just putting this in the energy because I was thinking how cool it would be to talk like in podcast form or talk to other people, because I mentioned in the video prior that once I get to talk to people and get in conversations, that's when it gets real juicy and I can open up consciousness. So I'm like, cool. And then I didn't plan this, of course, but going with the flow. And this feels like me just doing this silly little stuff, putting it together. Woman manifests into bigger things. That being said, I would love to speak truth and nothing but the truth. So help myself. So let's get it. Case closed. The court date shall be soon. I'll go over it to verify because I can do an update on this regardless, because I can put this on a platform. It gets stored somewhere and it gets recorded here regardless. So let's record it, shall we? 2422-cr02941, and also that same number 2422-cr02941-01 is one and the same, but they're trying to make it look like it's just this one. 7/8 scheduled at 9 a.m. Matrix time. And it is the 4th, July 4th. So 8th. Here soon. Okay, hear ye for a hearing. Hear ye for a hearing. What hear ye for a hearing. So that's cool. Okay, close that out. I got Jeff Berwick's videos updates next soon. But I shall end it there, okay? And we shall see. Speaking of continuances, we shall continue this and see if there's finally the ending of a new beginning with this ordeal. As always, I love you so much, regardless of whatever happens. I'm always here. Thought it was going to end there, didn't you? It doesn't. Sending good energies, great higher vibrations into the space that he's in, because it's not easy and it is a hard mission. And in honor of you, sir, I just want to send you some, frequencies in there to freedom.